Right now at 6, an effort in Ottawa County to battle sex trafficking in the state of Oklahoma.
And it is again cold this morning, but better than where we were yesterday. It will be even warmer this afternoon. Details in that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, an area conservationist weighs in on the danger of avian flu in wild birds.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday. It's January the 28th, 2025.
Yes, it is.
Oh, boy. It's been one of those days. Now, I won't go into the details, but so far this morning, just an interesting collection of things has happened. And I feel as though my head might explode.
Oh, don't do that. We've got 2 more hours left. No.
I'm telling you. See, that's why I really need to find a way to take. I love what I do, and I love you folks at home, but I think I need 2 or 3 weeks off.
Well, just today's the day to plan that vacation.
It is, as we talked about. Yeah. It is today's the day. Start planning some of those vacations. So maybe that's what I could do. Start planning some kind of big vacation. Yeah, I'll figure something out. Yeah. But it's going to be a great day. I mean, it's going to be an excellent day.
Feel like a vacation out there.
It is really. it is going to feel a bit like a little spring break out there, which will be nice because it's been pretty darn cold here lately. Let's start though with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are clear across the area. And again, it's a bit on the chilly side, but we are warmer than where we were yesterday. Our camera at 7th in range line looking pretty good as well. Now we'll head to the MoDOT camera, 20th in range line. Also looking good as folks get their day underway. Just a few folks getting their day started now, but of course, there'll be a lot more of you out there. And the KDOT camera just south of Pittsburgh on 69. A few more cars on the roadway. All of us doing pretty good, but still probably needing the heat. You won't need it later, as we're going to be right about 50 by noon today. And as we go through the afternoon, it's going to be a bit breezy, but we're otherwise going to have clear skies and temperatures looking pretty good across the region. We won't have to start worrying about any kind of cloud cover until late this evening and into the overnight. And even then, that's just some cloud cover. We'll talk about that a little later. 33 in Joplin, 30 in Pittsburgh right now, and across the region, we've got temperatures, most of us mid-upper 20s and low 30s. We do have some cooler spots here and there, but again, with that said, the majority of us, again, are anywhere from about 10 to 15 degrees warmer now than where we were at this time yesterday. So we're doing better, and we will continue to improve. So kids get on the bus. Still want that jacket, though. And we're talking upper 20s, low 30s, southwest winds occasionally gusting to 20. And as we head into the afternoon, those southwest winds occasionally gusting to 25. Still sunny and 55 degrees when the bus brings them home. And again, our highs today, mid-upper 50s with that southwest breeze and clear skies. Going to be beautiful. It's going to be warmer as we head into tomorrow. Then we've got that other side of the spring, which is thunderstorm chances and rain chances. We'll talk about all that here in just a few more minutes. Lise?
Chris, thanks. A federal court sentences a Joplin man for his role in a kidnapping that resulted in the torture and death of the victim. Yesterday, the judge sentenced this man, Freddie Tilton, to life in prison plus 30 years in federal prison. Tilton pleaded guilty in September 2023 to his role in a kidnapping conspiracy that resulted in torture and death, as well as 2 counts of being a felon in possession of firearms. Tilton is among 6 defendants who pleaded guilty and have been sentenced in this case. In a separate case involving a second victim, Tilton was found guilty at trial on September 17, 2024, of 1 count of conspiracy to commit kidnapping, 1 count of kidnapping, and 1 count of stalking. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, a bill before the Arkansas General Assembly could soon require all law enforcement officers to wear body cameras. The bill would also require the recording of law enforcement interactions with the public. According to one police chief, the recordings could be used for not law enforcement action, but for training purposes also.
The officers can review them when say they get a traffic stop and maybe they have field sobriety or something like that. They have the ability to review their cases, review the whole stop, and make notes that maybe they didn't notice something while they were out there on the scene.
Well, body cameras are not mandatory for law enforcement in every state. Nearly a dozen states have made it mandatory. Arkansas would be the only state in our area to do so. A Miami nonprofit is now certified to help adult victims of sex trafficking. It's a certification the Community Crisis Center sought to receive after noticing a number of the domestic violence and sexual assault survivors they were supporting were also victims of trafficking. The victim services provider says it became clear there was a growing need in the community. The nonprofit is now one of 4 certified in the state and the only rural provider.
By us not acknowledging that it's happening in rural areas, we're doing a real disadvantage to those that are being harmed. We believe that services should be available in every community in every state. So we're hoping that providing these services not only helps us better meet the needs of local victims, but it might also encourage some other providers to look at expanding as well.
January is Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and while the Community Crisis Center is now certified to help sex trafficking survivors, they are increasing their training and resources to address survivors of other types of trafficking as well. And while the risk of bird flu remains low for humans, it can still pose a threat to livestock. With the recent confirmation of our first case of avian flu in Newton County, we decided to stop by the Missouri Department of Conservation in Joplin to get expert advice on what you should do and how to decrease the spread if you happen to come across a dead bird.
We are looking for this disease. It really helps to have people calling for us because it gives us more eyes out in the field. However, if you find something you think may have succumbed to avian influenza, leave it alone. Just call us. We'll take it from there.
Skulicki goes on to say that you can also cover the deceased bird so other animals can't remove it. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Spotify and Universal Music Group announced a multi-year deal on recorded music and music publishing. Plus, President Trump signs executive orders focused on the U.S. military. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Golden City, Missouri. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning, Whole Foods just got its first union. Workers at a store in Philadelphia's Center City neighborhood voted to join the United Food and Commercial Workers. Now, it was a close vote with 130 employees for and 100 against. The union says the workers want better compensation and working conditions. Whole Foods claims it already offers competitive wages, great benefits, and career advancement. The union still faces a potentially long road, and Amazon, which owns Whole Foods, has a history of anti-union stances. It has refused to negotiate with the union workers who were voted in at a Staten Island warehouse. And Spotify and Universal Music Group announced a multi-year deal on recorded music and music publishing. Now, it establishes a direct license between the world's largest streamer and the world's largest music label. It's the first such direct license between the streamer and a major publisher in a few years. The deal covers Spotify's offerings in the U.S. and several other nations. The value of the deal and its exact length have not been released. The companies say the deal features new paid subscription tiers and a larger audio and visual content catalog. And there are more executive actions this morning to kick off President Donald Trump's second week in office. The new directives are aimed at federal aid and the U.S. military. Meanwhile, immigration enforcement efforts continue to ramp up, with the president now claiming victory after a public spat with a U.S. ally in South America. Jared Hill has more from New York.
New this morning, a freeze on nearly all federal financial assistance just hours away. Sources tell CBS News an internal memo from the White House calls for a pause on grants and loans reviewed to ensure they align with Trump administration priorities. The Senate's top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, wrote it's jeopardizing billions upon billions of community grants and financial support that help millions of people across the country. Monday, President Donald Trump signed a slew of executive orders focused on the military, reinstating with back pay thousands of service members discharged for refusing the COVID-19 vaccine, directing the Pentagon to determine a policy for transgender troops within the month. In the meantime, reinstating a ban he first ordered in 2017, and banning race and sex-based preferences. Trump speaking at a House GOP retreat at his resort in South Florida.
We will stop our service members from being indoctrinated with radical left ideologies.
Another order calls for the creation of a U.S. Iron Dome, similar to Israel's missile defense system.
We protect other countries, but we don't protect ourselves.
He also claimed victory in the thwarted trade war with Colombia, after the White House says the country caved to demands they accept U.S. military deportation flights.
America is respected again.
Hundreds of undocumented migrants have been arrested over the past few days.
There's a lot of anxiety and kind of living this uncertainty.
The White House has also closed the door to hundreds of asylum seekers hoping to come into the U.S. legally. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Two sources familiar with the statement say that around a dozen Justice Department employees who worked on Special Counsel Jack Smith's investigations and cases against President Trump have been fired. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a chilly start, but otherwise clear out there. Nothing on the Skywatch storm tracker and nothing really across the entire area. Just a few clouds in southern Oklahoma. Skies are clear out there, and it's going to be warmer today than where we were yesterday. Details in that forecast here in just a few more minutes.
One South Florida couple says they brought a special souvenir back from a vacation in Turks and Caicos. It was a piece of the SpaceX Starship rocket that exploded last week. Joe Rhodes has more.
We had to pick them up. We weren't sure what to do with them, but we knew it was very special.
A lucky find straight out of the sky. Elena Zavid says she and her husband found two pieces of SpaceX's Starship rocket while in Turks and Caicos. SpaceX launching their massive rocket in Texas last week for a test flight. That rocket breaking apart while in flight, creating a light show across the sky. Debris from the spacecraft soon began washing ashore.
It made its way across the sky, literally was rising from behind our house, went over the sky and landed right in front of us in the water. And as it was coming down, it was already fading.
She says they were celebrating a friend's birthday when they heard the rocket explode as it passed above them.
First, we heard the sound, so we weren't sure what was happening. We looked up in the sky and we saw what we thought was a meteor shower. And it's nothing we've ever seen before, experienced.
She says they were frightened, but they were also in awe of what they were watching unfold in the sky.
So we all made big wishes when we saw the star, what we thought was a star shower. It was very wild.
Elena showing off the two pieces they held on to. One, which she says feels like styrofoam. Another, she says, was part of the spacecraft's heat shield. While handling them with gloves, her dad told her to be cautious.
He said, listen, it could be quite toxic. Be careful. He didn't think it had radiation at that point.
The souvenir's now at her home in Miami Beach after this once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Just being witnesses to this explosion and actually receiving debris, it kind of it makes you question a lot of things too. Like, is this safe?
Zavid says people tried to buy the relics from her and her husband when they posted about it on social media, but the couple says they want to keep the relics for now. Now let's check in with Chris for a quick look at the forecast.
We've got a pretty decent start to the day, albeit a bit on the chilly side. Much warmer, in fact, a little bit like spring later. We'll have the latest on your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 6:21, and it's still Tuesday, and it will be until midnight tonight, or 11:59, somewhere in that range. Here's what we're looking at as we head into the afternoon, where temperatures were going to be about 50 by noon today for most of us. I said about. Again, we have a 15-county area here. Not everybody's going to be the same temperature. That would be really weird. But you can see most of us on average about 50. It's going to be a warm day. It's going to be a sunny day. It's going to be a breezy day as well, similar to what we saw yesterday. Just temperatures about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than what we saw yesterday, which will also put us about 10 to 15 above average because yesterday we were relatively close to normal. Now, late this evening and overnight, clouds will gradually begin to increase. So we'll go partly cloudy tonight, partly cloudy to start our Wednesday, and eventually we'll have a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. So depending on where you are and how quickly the clouds begin to increase, because it'll be a slow process, but they will gradually spread across the area as we head through our Wednesday. You may be going, well, why are the clouds coming? Well, if you're just joining us right now, it's because the rain is coming. We're getting this taste of spring, which is going to come. It's a complete package deal here. This isn't just some warm weather or some rain or something. You know, it's the full preview of spring. This is your 2-day free trial of spring where we get the warmer temperatures, and then we also, overnight Wednesday and the Thursday, get opportunities for showers and some thunderstorms. Now, some good news for us is I guess this is a 90% deal because we don't have any severe weather expected as we head into Thursday with these thunderstorms, which is great. We don't need a free preview of that, not in the slightest. But some thunderstorms possible, and this is coming at the worst possible time, though. We're talking as you're getting up, you're hitting the road, getting ready for school, getting on the bus, whatever the case may be. This is coming at the worst possible time because you'll be commuting while we get some of this heavier rain. There are some minor concerns for the potential for some flash flooding, something we'll keep an eye on. But nonetheless, getting some showers, thunderstorms, and getting some much-needed rainfall is going to be the key here as we head into our Thursday. Could get some pauses here and there, and then we could see additional scattered showers and storms later in the day Thursday. We're at 33 in Joplin. Does feel like 25. Wind is south-southwest at about 10. Skies are clear, though. Around the area, a mix of temperatures. We've got mostly low, mid, upper 20s and some low 30s. We do have some upper teens here and there. But again, it's still anywhere from 10 to almost 20 degrees warmer now than where we were 24 hours ago. Getting our day started, low 30s, clear skies, mid 40s by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon, sunny, southwest winds gusting to 25 on occasion, and eventually making the mid, even upper 50s, couple of low 60s possible as well. Through the evening, initially clear skies, and by late this evening, clouds gradually increasing. Low 40s by 10 and mid 30s overnight. Southwest breeze easing up a bit at about 5 to 10. Calm winds expected as we head into Wednesday afternoon. Partly cloudy, upper 50s, low 60s. Scattered showers and storms late Wednesday into Thursday, maybe lasting into very early Friday. Colder Friday, but average. That's pretty close to where we should be. Technically, it's a little above normal. Got a great weekend ahead of us. Not a bad Monday, and then a little colder with some additional rain chances next week. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Lise now with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, heart disease remains the leading cause of death in the U.S. A study by the American Heart Association found cardiovascular diseases, which include heart disease and stroke, still claim more lives than cancer and accidental deaths combined. People are living longer with cardiovascular diseases due to advancements in medicine, but high blood pressure and obesity rates, both of which fuel heart disease, continue to rise. Well, how well we sleep could play a role in Alzheimer's disease. A study by UC San Francisco found people who take significantly longer to reach the dream phase of sleep, called REM, could be at greater risk for Alzheimer's. Now, REM sleep is when the brain processes and stores memories, and disrupting that sleep can also disrupt the brain's ability to hold on to memories. And infant mortality rates have dropped significantly over the past few decades. A study published in JAMA Network found infant mortality decreased by 24% from 1999 to 2022. But Black infants are still 2 to 4 times more likely to die than white infants. Another cause for concern, sudden unexpected infant deaths are rising, with one possible reason being unsafe co-sleeping. Well, bird flu is surging in the U.S. once again, and to make things even more challenging, health officials say they have detected a new strain. Jonathan Hunt is in Los Angeles with the latest.
Bird flu is still spreading in the U.S., and now health officials are tracking a new strain. The World Organization for Animal Health reported Monday that the first case of the H5N9 flu was found in poultry at a duck farm in Merced County, California. The more common strain was also found at the same farm, and more than 119,000 birds were killed there in recent months. The risk to the general public remains low, but some doctors are concerned that the emergence of a new strain means the virus could be changing.
There is that small possibility that there could be a genetic mutation that would then allow the virus to be transmitted person to person.
H5N9 is rarer than the bird flu strain that caused most of the damage last year. It's highly pathogenic, and now farms throughout the West are stepping up mitigation efforts, trying their best to keep the virus out.
We're fearful every day. The chickens, boy, they get it and they're dead in a day. You'll know right away if you've got it.
And of course, that's not helping with the record high egg prices we're seeing across the country. The virus killed more than 17 million birds in the past 3 months, creating a huge supply shortage. And retailers say they're starting to feel the strain.
We always try to absorb as much of those costs as we can before passing along to the consumer, but at some point you have to pass it along, right?
The Agriculture Department says egg prices are expected to increase another 20% in 2025.
And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the City Council in Webb City adopts new ordinances.
And it is a bit cold out there this morning, much warmer as we head into the afternoon. A look at that forecast to get you out the door is coming up.
Plus some advice from the experts on how to protect yourself from online identity scams.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Tuesday. It's January the 28th, and I'm going to give you some sound advice that you want to take home with you right now. Do not skip merrily at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, is that what was
That was
going on?
painful. I was skipping merrily, and it turned into some unmerry skipping. Oh. I'm getting too old for this business, and sometimes I forget. Like there are certain things that make me feel much younger.
Part of the business.
It is. It's an efficient
to
look.
me this morning.
You can skip. You can like take wide leaps when you skip if you do it right. So you can travel more efficiently and get some exercise in.
I mean, I can't argue with
6:30 in the morning is not the time to do it.
Yourself,
that was feeling Johnny Cash right now.
Oh. All right.
Oh gosh, it's only Tuesday now. Come on. Okay, now let's. I'm going to walk very carefully over this way, and we're going to take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. No, really though, if you do it right, you really can. You can go several feet in a single skip. I'm just saying, it can be done. When I was younger, it was easy to do. I've just gotten older, and something. That's not. That Elise is not skip. That was a big. You have to. I can't. There's not enough room. See, you gotta do something like that. Well, we're looking pretty good. Sky's clear downtown Pitt. You gotta skip just right. Clear skies 7th and range line. Same from the MoDOT camera 20th and range line as well. And the KDOT camera 69. Looking good. Let's get into that forecast business to get you out the door though, and then you can figure out how skipping is, and maybe it'll help warm you up if you are going out this morning. We're going to be right around 50 by noon. Clear skies, a bit breezy. Temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above normal and 10 to 15 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday, because yesterday, pretty close to average, but another great spring-like day out there. We are sitting at 33 in Joplin, 28 in Pittsburgh. As we look at temperatures around the region, we've got a mix of 20s, 30s, 19 in Grove, though. A little colder by the lake, but outside of that, again, it's cold, but anywhere from 10 to almost 20 degrees warmer now than where it was 24 hours ago. So kids getting on the bus, maybe they're skipping. Upper 20s, low 30s, southwest breeze, again, occasionally gusting to 20 with clear skies. Then we head into the afternoon, about 55, still sunny, warm, nice southwest winds, occasionally gusting to 25. And again, our highs today, mid to upper 50s with clear skies, just kind of warm and windy. Believe it or not, it's going to be warmer tomorrow. And then we have some rain chances on the way. We will go over all of those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon. And at last night's Webb City Council meeting, members greenlighted 2 new ordinances. One aims to prohibit cutting corners to avoid stoplights at intersections, and another focuses on tightening regulations against relieving yourself in public. Previously, officers would ticket individuals for indecent exposure or disturbing the peace. Now, Webb City has an actual ordinance prohibiting urinating or defecating in public spaces. And workers in Webb City made history yesterday, or at least restored it. The last remaining slate roof in the city got a facelift. Multiple roofers in the area said the 135-year-old roof was too old to be saved and recommended replacing it with shingles. Upon further inspection, roofers determined the slate would last another 50 years with proper restoration, which it has received. Let's Data Privacy Week, a time for raising awareness about the importance of securing your online data. KOAM's Melissa Alexis spoke to an expert from the Regional Better Business Bureau about ways to protect your personal information.
Consumers need to think about is the risk of identity theft.
With the popularity of social media apps like TikTok and Facebook, anyone can be at risk of having their personal information stolen.
We've all gotten very comfortable with sharing a lot on social media, making sure that you're not sharing things that you might, for example, use as a password.
That's why, for Data Privacy Week this year, Better Business Bureau Regional Director Pam Hernandez reminds people that just having a password isn't always enough to keep your accounts safe.
Making sure that your passwords are long and strong and using multi-factor authentication. So that's where you get that 6-digit code, or you have to use some other type of authenticator app as a second step before you log in.
She also says it's important to be careful when banking online, as identity theft can be devastating.
Identity theft can cause any number of issues and headaches and harm to someone. It can be as simple as getting locked out of your social media account and losing photos, to someone stealing your identity and racking up debt in your name.
According to IDstrong.com, Missouri's most common data breaches include credit card information or other personal information theft.
If there's a problem with your bank account or your credit card, call the institution, call the number on the back of your card.
Pitt State University's IT security officer reminds people that phishing can come in the form of a text, email, or even fraudulent phone calls. Just like individuals, companies and businesses can also be at risk. In 2019, Missouri Southern State University experienced a data breach caused by a phishing attack. A link from an email was clicked, allowing an unauthorized party to gain access to personal information. Both students and employees were affected.
If you get an unsolicited text message or email, particularly if it looks like it comes from a financial institution, never click the link or open attachment. If there's a problem with your bank account or your credit card, call the institution, call the number on the back of your card.
Hernandez says if you see a scam, you should say something and report it on the BBB website.
It does come with risk, and you want to just protect yourself.
Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Hernandez says if you're shopping on a new site, check bbb.com to confirm it's a safe site before you enter your credit card information. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Department of Agriculture is recalling Wegmans frozen chicken breast nuggets due to bone fragments. And we have a warm and windy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Golden City, Missouri. In Consumer Watch this morning, U.S. chipmaker NVIDIA has the biggest one-day loss by a company ever on Monday, dropping nearly $600 billion in market value. It's due to Chinese tech startup DeepSeek, which has created an artificial intelligence model that costs much less than those made by U.S. competitors. DeepSeek's AI assistant was Apple's most downloaded app yesterday, surpassing rival ChatGPT. Well, the Department of Agriculture has issued an alert on Wegmans frozen chicken breast nuggets. The agency says the product may contain bone fragments, which could result in injury if eaten. The impacted 46-ounce bags of nuggets are no longer on store shelves, but could still be in people's freezers with a best if used by date of August 26, 2025. Now, there are no reports of injuries so far, and consumers are urged to throw out the nuggets or else return them. And Coca-Cola is launching a new flavor next month, orange cream. The drink mixes Coke's iconic bubbly flavor with orange and creamy vanilla. Now it also comes in zero sugar. And orange cream Coca-Cola hits store shelves on February 10th with plans for it to remain on sale at least through the beginning of next year. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
They're always coming up with some new flavor of something out there, and that actually doesn't sound too bad. I'd have to give it a try. And with our little spring-like weather here, might not be a bad time to try it. Great view of the sunrise this morning. I know the sun's not quite up yet, but look at those colors. Gorgeous out there. How's our camera downtown Pittsburgh? Our camera 7th at Rangeline. Looking good as well. Again, skies are clear. MoDOT camera 20th in Rangeline. As I mentioned, there'll be a few more folks in here before too much longer. We won't even be able to see the road. There'll be that many people driving. I don't know where all of them come from all the time. I always wonder that, but there will be a lot more folks on the road. And of course, the KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue south of Pittsburgh. Got a few rolling into town and a few getting ready to roll out of town on this pretty decent but chilly Tuesday morning. By noon, most of us right about 50 degrees. We're going to have sunny skies, some slightly gusty winds at times, and temperatures well above normal. And they're going to be, of course, much warmer than where we were yesterday. In fact, by 8 o'clock this evening, we'll only be a few degrees cooler than where we reached for highs yesterday. Temperatures right now, though, again, cold. 33 in Joplin, 28 in Pittsburgh. And across the region, temperatures look like this. They're very blue because they're pretty chilly. We've got a mix of 20s and 30s, with Grove being the exception, sitting at 19. But again, it's cold, but even in places where it's cold, it's still warmer. Grove, you're still technically 1 degree warmer now than you were yesterday, but we're up to about 15 degrees warmer now than where we were 24 hours ago. Quick look at that bus stop forecast. Clear skies, upper 20s, low 30s, southwest winds occasionally gusting to 20 when the bus picks them up. Sunny, 55 when the bus brings them back. Southwest winds occasionally gusting to 25. We'll have another look at your forecast here in just a moment. We're also going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries, but first, here is what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Tony DeCopel. Coming up on CBS Mornings, we are kicking off our Road to the Grammys series, talking with Best New Artist nominee Teddy Swims and rapper Roxanne Shante, who will receive a Lifetime Achievement Award. That is coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, it is time for those Tuesday birthdays, and we are going to begin in Chanute with Ivan Pearson, celebrating birthday number 1. Happy birthday, Ivan.
And a happy 6th birthday to Rebecca Peace in Oswego. It says here, happy birthday. We love you, Mom, Dad, Joe, Harvey, Grandma, Nana, and Granny.
And we continue our list with Elliot Mayfield in Columbus, celebrating birthday number 7. It says happy birthday with love from Mom, Dad, and Buddy.
And a happy 11th birthday to Willa Fecky in Carl Junction. It says happy birthday, Willa Bear, from Mommy, Daddy, and Kenzie.
And Cheyenne McGorney from Carthage, celebrating birthday number 12. Says it's coming with love from Mom, Dad, Bub, and Baba.
And a happy 13th birthday to Maddie Russell in Fort Scott.
And we have Braden Richardson celebrating birthday number 16. Says happy birthday from your 2 big bros, Ben and Noah.
And a happy birthday to Nicholas Doritz, turning 17 today.
And we have Ian Mendoza in Erie celebrating birthday number 18. Happy birthday.
And in Pittsburgh, a happy birthday to Mackenzie Holbrook, turning 18 today. It says, we are proud of you. Love, Mom and Dad.
And we've got Catherine born on this day, celebrating birthday number 24. Says, we love you from your family.
And in Joplin, happy 27th birthday to Kyler Drelling.
And in Chanute, we have Vance Hodgden celebrating birthday number 62. Says happy birthday from your wife and family. We love you.
And a happy 64th birthday to Vince Russo. It says you're a 5-star man, bro. Love, Dave Meltzer.
And we have Myrna Hirschberger celebrating birthday number 95 in Girard. Very happy birthday to you.
And a happy 50th anniversary to Dale and Darlene Jeffrey.
And we have a 58th anniversary for Richard and Elizabeth Tinknell in Cherryvale. It says happy anniversary with love from Sarah, Mark, Andy, Janet, all the grand and great grandkids.
And in Brana, a happy birthday to Danielle Cox. Says happy birthday from Grandma Vance and your family in Chanute. We love you.
And our list continues with Randy Alsop in Crestline celebrating birthday number 67. Happy birthday.
And a happy 83rd birthday to Barbara Childers in Miami. It says here, you're a wonderful mother, grand and great grandmother and sister. We love you very much.
And we have Melinda Ewan in St. Paul celebrating another year wiser. Happy birthday, Melinda.
And a happy birthday to Brian Williamson in Joplin. It says from everybody at the family store.
And we have Robin Cobb celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Robin.
And last but not least, a happy birthday to Danny Pori.
All right, that's a really wonderful list of birthdays and anniversaries, especially for a Tuesday.
Yes.
And if you would like to celebrate your birthday or anniversary with us, what do they need to do, Elise?
You can do so by submitting those birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful messages and photos to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen and to also include the date of your celebration as well.
All right, it is very important to include all of that information so that everything airs at the appropriate time. Now, let's take a look outside, shall we? It's our camera downtown Pittsburgh. It is looking wonderful out there. You can see we've got the clear skies, great start to the day. A little bit on the chilly side, honestly, a little bit on the cold side, but not bad otherwise. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. We already got a school bus on the road this morning. Folks heading out, right, again, you're going to need the heat this morning, going to need a jacket this morning, but you will not necessarily need it as we head into the afternoon. Why, you ask? Well, if you thought yesterday was pretty decent, today's going to be decenter. Yes, I made that up. It's going to be better, though, really. It's going to be a fantastic day. We're looking to be near 50 by noon already, and as we head into the afternoon, temperatures will continue to warm. Average high is about 45, 46. We're looking to be roughly 10 to almost 15 degrees warmer than that over the next couple of days, actually, while we continue to see this little preview of spring. Overnight tonight into Wednesday, clouds gradually increase, so partly cloudy tonight, and eventually we'll have a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies for Wednesday because, again, clouds will increase from south to north, so be a little cloudier down south, a little clearer up north, and eventually all of us will get in on the cloud cover. We will be even warmer tomorrow compared to today. Not by a lot, but it'll still be warmer tomorrow than it will be today. And as we go overnight Wednesday into Thursday, here comes those opportunities for some showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. Again, no severe weather is expected, but there's two things really that are somewhat inconvenient. One is the timing. We do need this rain, but it's going to be coming in as we're starting our day on Thursday. So we're talking the morning commute, getting kids on the bus, whatever the case may be. We're talking showers, thunderstorms across most of the area. Now, the second thing is they could produce some heavy rain at times, so there are some slight concerns for the possibility of some flash flooding as we head through Thursday. So it's something we'll want to keep an eye on. We'll be monitoring it during the KOAM morning news, of course. And if you know your route, Thursday morning, we'll take you through an area that's prone to flash flooding. Just keep in mind, it's something that we're going to need to watch closely as we head into Thursday. No severe weather is expected, which is great, but again, some flash flooding possible. 7th and range line, again, clear skies, looks fantastic. It's a little cold, though, 33. In Joplin, feels like 25 with that south-southwest wind at 10. Temperatures across the region got a mix of mostly 20s and 30s. We still have Grove as the cold spot there at 19. But otherwise, again, it's still cold, but about 10 to 15 degrees warmer this morning than where we were yesterday. 32 to start, clear skies, and mid-40s by 11 a.m. We'll have another look at your forecast here in just a moment, as well as the news you need to know. And when we switch over to Fox 14, we're going to answer the age-old question, does pineapple belong on a pizza? I know my answer. We'll find out the real answer at 7 a.m.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A federal court sentences Freddie Tilton of Joplin for his role in a kidnapping that resulted in the torture and death of the victim. The judge sentenced Tilton to life in prison plus 30 years in federal prison. Tilton pleaded guilty on September 2023 for his role in a kidnapping conspiracy that resulted in torture and death, as well as 2 counts of being a felon in possession of firearms. 2 new ordinances were given the green light at last night's Webb City Council meeting. One ordinance prohibits cutting corners to avoid stoplights at intersections, and the other focuses on tightening regulations against relieving yourself in public. And the Community Crisis Center in Miami is now certified to help adult victims of sex trafficking. It's a certification after noticing a number of the survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault they were supporting were also victims of trafficking. The nonprofit is now one of 4 certified in the state and the only rural provider. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door again, cold to start, but much warmer today. Mid-upper 50s, clear skies, southwest winds occasionally gusting to 25. Partly cloudy skies overnight, so clouds slowly increasing later this evening. Mid-30s, southwest breeze 5 to 10. Take a look, though, at Wednesday. We are partly to mostly cloudy, upper 50s, low 60s. We'll have some late night showers and storms. Those continue into Thursday and early Friday. Again, no severe weather is expected, but some heavy rain could lead to some flash flooding concerns. Keep an eye on that for you. Got a really nice weekend ahead of us. A little cooler next week with some additional rain chances.
Alrighty, well, coming up today at noon, we're making seashore linguine in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. More Americans are dying of heart disease than any other cause of death. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Dr. John LaPook explains why and shares what people should know about their own heart health.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Jasmine Kyle from the SEK Humane Society joins us in the studio to talk about their Adopt Your Valentine adoption event.
Plus, Charlene Patton back in the studio with another incredibly healthy recipe. However, that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.